Did you detect anything, Jan, on the faces of the respective players while those anthems were sung? What did the body language tell you?
I think very focused. You know, you saw them in the tunnel. I think both teams are very focused. They know that there's still all to play for. I think the Danes know they're up against it. I think they'll need a bit of luck like they had in the first game against Holland. I think they'll need some of that spirit they had when we were 2-0 down against the Portuguese. But it's all to play for, and you rightly pointed out, good record against Germany, unbeaten over the last 3 games in competitive football, and even better records against the Germans.
So these are the lineups then. Denmark have been forced to make one change. The vastly experienced Dennis Rommedahl suffered a muscle pull in the victory in the defeat against Portugal, so he can't play. But Nicky Zimling, who limped off early in that match, has passed the fitness test and he starts. The only player to come into the starting 11 is Jakob Poulsen of Midtjylland. But there is a change of role for Christian Eriksen, who came into the tournament with high hopes, but he's yet to really make a mark, and he's going to play in a wide position today. So this is the Denmark team. Stefan Andersen, the goalkeeper. The defenders Lars Jakobsen, Simon Kjær, Daniel Agger and Simon Poulsen. I doubt there's been a better central defensive pair in the competition so far than Kjær and Agger. Then a 3-man midfield for Denmark: William Kvist, Nicky Zimling and Jakob Poulsen. Christian Eriksen on one side, Michael Crondelli, who got the winner against Holland, on the other, and Nicolas Bender with 2 goals against Portugal down the middle. Germany have been forced to make a change. Jerome Boateng suspended, so Lars Bender, the Bayer Leverkusen midfielder, will play at fullback for the first time in his career, both at club level and international level. The German goalkeeper is Manuel Neuer. The defenders Lars Bender, Mats Hummels, Holger Badstuber and Philipp Lahm. Then Sami Khedira and Bastian Schweinsteiger in holding midfield roles. Thomas Muller, Mesut Ozil, Lucas Podolski and Mario Gomez. And what a big night it is, Jan, for Lucas Podolski, his 100th cap for Germany.
Yeah, it's very impressive, isn't it? You know, well, I mean, what is he, 26, 27 now? He's been excellent. He's a great goal scorer from that wide position, understands that role.
We'll keep an eye on the other game. We've got that on the monitor. I can tell you straight away that Holland have made a significant change to their starting 11. Mark van Bommel has dropped to the bench and Rafael van der Vaart, the Tottenham player, comes in. So the attacking lineup that Clarence Seedorf has been talking about on 5 Live and on Match of the Day is going to be used by Bert van Marwijk tonight. Here, the team news was pretty simple. 1 enforced change for each side, and we're ready to get underway here in Arena Lviv. Remember, Holland-Portugal live on 5 Live. You're with us on 5 Live Sports Extra for the second favourites for Euro 2012, Germany, with 2 wins out of 2 against the Danish side, who got off to a fantastic start with a win against Holland and then lost in heartbreaking fashion late on against Portugal. Denmark in red shirts with the white shoulders, with the white shorts and the red socks, the familiar colours, the white shirt, the black shorts and the white socks of Germany, who will get the game underway and will play from right to left in the first half, and we will have simultaneous starts with the 2 games in Group B. And Germany have got the ball with Sami Khedira and now Lars Bender, and now the ball back with the dark-haired figure, the imposing figure of Mats Hummels, the very impressive centre-back for Germany. Badstuber gets the first touch, and so does the captain Lahm, and he plays it back to Hummels midway inside his own half and then out towards the far side, the right, and Lars Bender again. It's a big opportunity for Crondelli tonight to really put the pressure on Bender, Jan, who's playing at fullback for the first time ever as a professional footballer, and that's a big task for him.
Yeah, it is. It's understanding the mechanics of playing right back, isn't it? And he might not understand how he works with his centre half, how he works with the man in front of him, which is Thomas Muller.
2 of these Danish players ply their trade in the Bundesliga. William Kvist is at Stuttgart and Thomas Kahlenberg is at Wolfsburg. Simon Kjær is also a Wolfsburg player, although on loan at the moment at AS Roma in Italy. Here's Podolski with the orange boots on, the number 10 for Germany. And then Khedira forwards to Mario Gomez, intercepted by Kvist and then played by Jakob Poulsen to Christian Eriksen, and then back towards the right-hand side. And Jakobsen lifted forward towards Crondelli, and the offside flag had gone up, and it's a Germany free kick just outside the penalty area. The interesting thing, Jan, is going to be how the 4 teams in Group B respond to the first goal.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also think already now the interesting bit is that the 3 Danish midfield players, the central ones, have all got a job to do. When they're anywhere near one of the midfield players from Germany, they stick with them. It's almost like a man-to-man marking job.
The players can just concentrate on the game. The coaches can sit there and bite their nails and make sure they get the tactical decisions right. Khedira crosses, took a deflection, just too high for Gomez. Picked up by Thomas Muller with a half volley, and that flashes over the top of the bar. It was a tight angle for the Bayern Munich youngster, but he struck it very well, Jan Molby.
Yeah, we spoke about Podolski playing on the left He's cab number 100. He understands the road, but so does Thomas Muller on the right. He's also a real goal threat. Still to score in this competition. I don't think that's going to go on for much longer.
Just to say as well, don't think that Jan and I have gone mad. We are going to be updating 5 Live during the course of the commentary, so if on occasions I give you a quick summary of the match, it's good because we're live at that particular time on 5 Live as well. So do bear with us here on Sports Extra. 2 minutes gone here in Lviv. Denmark 0, Germany 0. At the moment, Germany and Portugal will be going through from Group B. Ozil forward to Khedira, who's onside at the byline, crossed into the middle. Really important challenge by the Denmark captain Daniel Agger, just as Mario Gomez was sniffing behind him.
Yeah, it was that playing out from the back again. Goalkeeper Anderson tried to find Jakobsen. Podolski wins the header, and then Germany are straight in at the Danish back four.
Germany, the most successful nation in the history of the European Championships. They've won it 3 times, but haven't won a major championship since Euro 96, which ironically was the last year they beat Denmark in a warm-up match for that tournament. They've also been runners-up 3 times, including 4 years ago when they lost to Spain in the final in Vienna. They won all 10 qualifying matches, remember, for the first time ever, scoring 34 goals and conceding 7. And to me, despite the way Spain dismantled the Republic of Ireland with Fernando Torres in fine form, looked to be the most complete team here at these European Championships. Most
definitely the most complete squad, isn't it?
So much depth, isn't there?
Great players. I mean, they've got players on the bench that we hardly know, but they're all going to be superstars in their own right. There's no doubt about that.
We were talking to a couple of German lads in a restaurant last night who have travelled a long way. They're staying in a hostel, and they spoke glowingly about the likes of Marco Reus and Mario Götze, the next in line, you would say, for this side that's still relatively young in key areas. There isn't too much age and rust around this Germany side. They've given the ball away, though. Here's the shaven-headed figure of Zimling just outside the centre circle, and then Eriksson. And Eriksson, you feel, has got to have a big night tonight to really provide the invention and guile in this Danish team. That's what he's there to do, the youngster from Ajax, who's been virtually anonymous in the opening 2 group matches in Group B. Agger can cross the halfway line. Plays the ball forward to Krondelli. Krondelli then to Simon Poulsen on the left-hand side, who will take on Lars Bender to the outside, and Bender makes the challenge but concedes the corner in front of that very red area of Arena Lviv, the far corner of the stadium, where all of those Danish supporters are with their flags and their red and white shirts. First opportunity for Denmark. It's a corner on the left-hand side, and Kjær and Agger have joined the tall figure of Nicholas Bentner in the German penalty area. Corner whipped in by Krondelli. Deep towards Bentner. Headed on by Bentner into the 6-yard box and gathered by Neuer, with a couple of Danes rushing in. Jan Molby.
Training ground routine. Deep corner. Bentner wins the header. Comes back in. And then the rest didn't do their job. Agger and Quist couldn't quite get there.
5 minutes gone. 0-0. Tight and cagey. Still scoreless in Kharkiv as well between Holland and Portugal. As the goals go in, we will tell you about it here on Sports Extra. Gomez for Germany. Little ball in now to Podolski. Podolski crosses. There's the chance! And it's a brilliant save by Anderson. How did Thomas Muller miss? 6 yards, hit it well. Did the ball find Anderson, or did Anderson find the ball? It doesn't matter, it remains 0-0.
Absolutely. But again, we saw how smooth the Germans are, how quick they moved the ball through the Danish midfield. Great ball for Podolski. Cross in, and as Thomas Muller comes in from the left, you know it's going to be a goal. He is some 4 yards out, hits it straight at the Danish goalkeeper, who, I have to say, has had a fine tournament.
I cannot believe he was able to hold it, Jan. He hit it with so much power. Where was the left-back, Simon Poulsen? He'd gone missing, hadn't he? 0-0.
Yeah, he's probably affected, isn't he, from his performance in the last game against Portugal, where he didn't play particularly well.
He was ripped apart by Nani on occasions. In that game was Poulsen, the AZ Alkmaar player. And Germany have got the possession, and in fact it's their supporters making the majority of the noise. The team with successive victories to start their campaign here at Euro 2012, and they've won a throw-in midway inside the Danish half on the right-hand side, which is taken to Thomas Muller, the tall, slim, leggy figure from Bayern Munich, who had such a good World Cup when he was the joint top scorer with 5 goals. Schweinsteiger, who always seems to get more touches of the ball than anybody else. He's the German version of Xavi and loves to dictate play in the centre, along with Sami Khedira. Now Badstuber can carry it forward. One of the large contingent of Bayern Munich players in the starting 11 for Germany tonight. Here's another one, Philipp Lahm, the skipper, on the left-hand side. Back to Badstuber. They're controlling things at the moment, Germany, but still 0-0. Khedira crosses the halfway line and finds Muller on the far touchline, and then back to Bender, and then infield to Schweinsteiger. and then back to Mats Hummels on the halfway line. He can run forward, the central defender, and play Bender in again on the far side. Bender forward. Good control by Schweinsteiger, and then he turns away to buy himself some time. Pokes it square to Gomez, the tournament's top scorer at this stage, and then Khedira forward to Podolski. Not the best of passes, and that can be snaffled up by Lars Jakobsen and cleared towards the halfway line. There's so much confidence, bordering on arrogance, when Germany have got the ball.
Yeah, they're playing very well. They started the game well. They've created the one real opportunity in the match so far, controlling things from the back. Two very good football and centre halves.
It's worth pointing out that if Portugal win their match against Holland, then they would be through for certain. So they've got their destiny in their own hands, as have the Germans. If they draw this match, they win Group B. And if they win the game, of course, they're through. We're just seeing a replay of that chance for Thomas Muller. The more you see the replay, the better a save it was. It actually hit his left foot first, Jan, and then bounced into his hands.
But just took the pace of the shot, didn't it? Hitting his left foot. But again, you were talking about the left back. Where was he? Muller's actually got on the inside of him. Again, that should never happen.
Very similar to the type of save we used to see from Schmeichel, where he spread the legs and spread the arms and made himself as big as possible. 0-0 here then in Lviv on 5 Live Sports Extra, and 0-0 in Kharkiv as well between Holland and Portugal. Zimling for Denmark, who really do need some kind of passage of play just to improve their confidence and get themselves started in the match that's been controlled so far by the Germans. Jakobsen on the right-hand side. Towards the edge of the penalty area. Little ball infield to Bentner, who was trying to play Eriksson, and I'm not sure the ball would have got there. In fact, it's intercepted by Philip Lahm, and he can run towards the halfway line. Lovely flick by Ozil, and then a poor pass infield by Podolski, which fell to find Mario Gomez, and Denmark have regained the possession. And Krondelli's got some space in the inside left position. Comes into a more central area. Eriksson wants the ball, but it's a poor pass by Krondelli. Intercepted, not for the first time, by the German captain Philip Lahm, who can run towards halfway and feed Thomas Muller. This time Poulsen, the fullback, is tucked in a bit, but Muller will run at him and slide the pass towards the penalty area. Agger partially clears, but then the Liverpool defender gets a second chance, and he can play it to Poulsen on the left-hand side, and back to Daniel Agger once more, and Denmark have got the situation under control. 9 minutes gone, 0-0.
There's a number of things you have to get right when you play Germany. You have to defend well, but you also have to keep the ball well when you have it, especially in advanced areas, and so far Denmark have failed to do that.
Vicente Del Bosque, the Spanish coach, described Germany as the best ever football-playing Germany team. And they certainly are a much more fluid outfit under Joachim Löw than they ever were. Here's Eriksson. Eriksson just outside the Germany penalty area. Plays the ball to Poulsen. And then Krondelli, and then back to Zimling. Zimling infield to Eriksson, and then back to Daniel Agger. And then to Simon Kjær with the long hair and the Alice band, played forward towards Bentner, who's hurried though by Gomez. And Germany can spring forward down the left with Podolski towards Lahm. Lahm charging towards the penalty area, well read by Daniel Agger, who's having a fantastic tournament for the Danes.
Yeah, but he's a great defender, isn't he, Daniel Agger? But good run forward by Lahm, but he took the defenders away, which created an awful lot of space on the other side. Özil were actually clear. If Podolski would have seen him, Denmark would have been in real trouble.
Not a seat to be had inside the stadium. 10 minutes gone here, 0-0. 10 minutes gone in Kharkiv as well. Same scoreline. So Group B, as you were. Top Germany, second Portugal, third Denmark, and Holland, the World Cup finalists, at the bottom. Germany in possession. And the ball is with Badstuber, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Now crosses into Danish territory and plays the ball out to Lahm on the left. Lahm closed down by Eriksson, so back to Badstuber again. And then stabbed through into space to Khedira. And they back off the Danish defenders. Khedira to Ozil. Back into Sami Khedira. Excellent challenge by Agger again. And he gets the ball out for a throw-in on the far side, the Germany right.
At times against Holland, it was Kjær and Agger against the Dutch. He's very much looking the same again. Germany. Not the Dutch, though, but the Germans this time.
We'll keep the possession. And we'll keep the pressure on. Remember, when Denmark won that championship in 1992, they did beat Holland and Germany during the tournament. They beat the Dutch in the semi-finals on a penalty shootout, the Germans in the final with those 2 goals from Vilfort and John Jensen. And I can tell you that Holland have taken the lead against Portugal through Tottenham's Rafael van der Vaart. The change has paid off for Bert van Marwijk, the coach, and Holland at the moment have the lead in that match. We'll bring you the implications on Group B in a second, because Germany are coming forward on the left-hand side. At the moment, Jan, that would be enough to take the Danes through.
I was just going to ask you to update the standings in the group, please.
That would get the Danes through. But there's a long way to go, such a long way to go. 79 minutes. Hang on a second and we'll bring it to you officially. Here's Gomez with the shot just over the top of the bar. Not much backlift from Mario Gomez, always rising. And that's a goal kick. So the revised look to Group B, which brings a smile to Jan Molby's face. Germany top at the moment. They'd have 7 points if it stayed like this here. Denmark would be second with 4. It's 0-0 here, Alan, but Germany are dictating things. There's just been a huge cheer inside the stadium from the Denmark supporters who have heard the scoreline from your game. But here it's 0-0. There's been one really good chance. Thomas Muller from close range. Brilliant save by Stefan Andersen. So 0-0 here in Lviv at the moment. And the ball is with Jakobsen as we update 5 Live. And Denmark can come forward now on the edge of the penalty area with Krondelli. Krondelli then runs into Hummels. It's picked up now by Zimling and played into the centre to Eriksson. I'll go through that Group B table as it stands in a moment, because Denmark are coming forward and enjoying a decent spell of possession as well. At the moment then, Germany 7, Denmark 4, Holland 3 and Portugal 3. So the Danes, who were just sitting on their hands and fearing what might happen with Germany pushing forward, are now standing up and singing their songs in the far side of the field.
What we need now is a storm, isn't it?
Well, just to settle things down.
I'll do it.
Here's Bendtner. Bendtner can cook up a storm with a right foot shot that's always bending wide of Neuer's right-hand post.
Denmark's only opportunity so far. Played into Bendtner, who'd come off his centre-half, turned 25 yards out. Weak shot.
Alan Green and Graham Taylor, your commentary team, by the way, on 5 Live. If you want that Holland-Portugal match, Rafael van der Vaart with the only goal. We're in Lviv, myself and Jan Molby, with a scoreline of Denmark 0, Germany 0. Just that one really good chance, the Thomas Muller snapshot that was well saved by Andersen. But that's sure to have lifted the Danish supporters and will have filtered through to the players. There's no doubt about that.
And you said it before the game, innit? How a team's going to react to goals going in elsewhere. So far, this will do both teams.
It takes
the fact
the
that Holland are winning 1-0 will do both of these teams.
Absolutely. It takes the pressure off. Here's Hummels then, midway inside his own half as Germany mount another attack. So elegant and so precise in possession of the ball. They've not lost any of that German precision. They've just added the flair, which has made them such a formidable unit. Schweinsteiger, one of the best in the business, inside the centre circle. Plays it back now to Badstuber. There's not a player in the Germany team who's not extremely comfortable in possession. And the centre-backs have so many touches. It enables the more creative players to push on and find space where they can hurt the opposition. Khedira on the right-hand side, threaded forward. The target was Thomas Muller and intercepted by Poulsen. And then Krondelli was rather hemmed in by Bender. Hummels wins it back for Germany, but you've got to push, and that's going to be a free kick midway inside the Danish half to Germany. Mark Clattenburg, by the way, is the 4th official today, and I'm pleased to report with 15 minutes gone, the referee has managed to keep his cards in his pocket, which is no mean feat for our Spanish referee here tonight. Here's Gomez into the penalty area. Good footwork by the big man from Bayern Munich, but he runs into Poulsen. But they've got it back, have they, Germany? Not quite. Simon Poulsen clears, and it's out for a throw-in on the halfway line to Germany. Don't forget, we've got highlights of both matches tonight on BBC One at 10:55. Match of the day presented by Colin Murray. And tomorrow, we've got the Republic of Ireland against Italy on 5 Live and Spain against Croatia on 5 Live Sports Extra. That's another group where 3 of the 4 teams can qualify. In fact, there is a possibility that Spain could go out tomorrow, just like there's a possibility that Germany could go out tonight. But at the moment, Germany are going through and Denmark are going through, because Holland are leading 1-0 against Portugal in Kharkiv. And with the point at the moment that Denmark are preserving, that would give them 4 and would put them through to the quarter-finals along with the Germans. But Germany have got a free kick midway inside the Danish half. There's a 2-man Danish wall. Mesut Ozil and Bastian Schweinsteiger are standing over the ball. Hummels and Badstuber have gone into the penalty area. Mario Gomez is a tall, ominous figure lurking around the penalty spot. Morten Olsen just comes to the touchline and offers some advice. Schweinsteiger over the ball, delivered by Ozil, poor free kick, and that's 5 yards wide and a goal kick to Denmark. Jan Molby.
I actually think that Ozil put that cross exactly where he wanted to. I just think that the rest of the players misread the situation that they wanted to create. But I think what we've seen already now is what we're going to see. Germany in possession, trying to create openings. Denmark have been better so far without the ball than with the ball. But 0-0, with Holland winning, suits Denmark all day long.
Saw Ozil 3 years ago at the European Under-21 Championships, where he was the star of the show as Germany won the final, beating England 4-0, with a team that contained the likes of Khedira, and Neuer and Hummels, some really good players, but Ozil has matured into such a fantastic player now at Champions League level with Real Madrid and at international level where he can dominate games, can't he, Jan?
Yeah, he's just so aware, isn't he? He knows where people are on the pitch all the time. He's got great feet, he's got eyes in the back of his head. He's a super player.
Anderson clears. A very significant save by him early on. Flick on by Bentner. Chasing is Eriksson. Unruffled, calm, tidy defending by Hummels, and then Lahm plays it back to the goalkeeper Neuer, who can side foot the ball out to Lars Bender on the right hand side. I'm a bit surprised, Jan, with 17 and a half minutes gone. They've not really tested Bender too much as yet.
No, they haven't, but as I said before, they haven't been particularly good in possession, Denmark, so far. It's just been a case of being organised. The big key is the midfield three, trying to stick with their men, trying to stick with their runners. Holland
1, Portugal 0. The latest score from Kharkiv. The goal scored by Rafael van der Vaart. The change made by Bert van Marwijk tonight. Mark van Bommel, his son-in-law, on the bench. Van der Vaart in the team. Clarence Seedorf said that's what Holland have to do. He said it time and time again on Match of the Day and 5 Live. They've done it tonight, and surprise, surprise.
A start is to get Van Bommel out of the team. I've got nothing against Van Bommel, but he just brings so very little now at this level.
Here's Muller running towards the Denmark penalty area. Short pass to Mesut Ozil, and then Ozil into the box towards a combination of Gomez and Bender, and slid out of play by Daniel Agger for a Germany throw on the far side. Agger's been everywhere defensively.
But he's had to. Because it's been so close on so many occasions. You just feel that just that one pass away from creating another opening.
Here's Muller inside the box, right edge of the 6-yard box. Going to be a chance for a goal. Lucas Podolski celebrates 100 caps for Germany with a goal after 19 minutes. Good finish by Podolski, but he couldn't really miss. And he celebrates the century in style. It's Denmark 0, Germany 1.
Yeah, it's about getting men in the penalty area, and they certainly do that very well. We spoke about the wide men for Germany and how they understand the role, how they're dangerous from set pieces.
So Germany have the lead. Germany lead, and the goal has been scored on his 100th cap by Lucas Podolski. Couldn't really miss. Low cross in from Thomas Muller on the right-hand side, and Podolski smashed it in from no more than 7 yards. It's lifted the Germans and silenced the Danes. It's Denmark 0, Germany 1. And that means, if you look at the group now, that Portugal are back in the box seat. Germany at the moment would have 9 points, Portugal 3, but they would be second. Denmark 3 would be third, and Holland with 3 would finish bottom. So it's simple now, Jan. The Danes know with results as they are, they've got to score.
It's almost as simple as the German goal. It's a throw-in into Thomas Muller in the box. Simon Poulsen has got him all day. He allows him to turn, gets another cross in from the right, comes off the toe of Gomez, and there is one of the wide boys who's got a real eye for goal. Podolski on his right foot. No chance for the defenders, no chance for the goalkeeper, but Simon Poulsen yet again has allowed a cross in.
Podolski averages 1 and 2 as an international, the new Arsenal signing, and he really couldn't miss. You can't give Podolski that kind of space on the edge of the 6-yard box because he will punish you, and that's what he's done to Denmark. 20 minutes gone, and Group B changing all the time. Germany heading into the quarter-finals with 3 wins out of 3 at the moment. Zimmerling for Denmark. They've got to be a little bit more attack-minded now. They've got to try and take the game to Germany, but they've also got to make sure, Jan, they don't leave too many holes at the back for this very efficient attacking unit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always the worry when you play Germany, because they're so smooth on the move. But what Denmark have done since the goal, they're now just playing with one holding midfield player, Christ. Zimmerling and Poulsen are trying to push on. It was only a matter of time. Once you go on a 1-0 down, you need another goal. That's what they were going to do, and that's what they've done.
That goal for Podolski moves him to within 1 of the great Karl-Heinz Rummenigge on the all-time goal-scoring charts for Germany. Rummenigge's got 45. That's Podolski's 44th goal at international level on the night that he wins his 100th cap. That's a fantastic record when you think of the rarefied air that international football is these days. Now he scores big goals in big tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. He's come into a number of tournaments where there's been question marks against his name. When he went to Bayern Munich, he didn't do particularly well. He's been at Cologne. He's a real hero at Cologne. But from time to time there, he hasn't done it either. But every time, we're talking about the other day, didn't we, Darren? He's got a much better international career than a club career. Arsenal fans, of course, hoping that is about to change.
Absolutely. So Denmark 0, Germany 1 here, Holland 1, Portugal 0 in Kharkiv. So at the moment, Portugal, despite trailing in that match, will be through to the knockout stage. And Portugal have never failed to reach the knockout stage in the European Championships. So history is certainly on their side. They are unbeaten, by the way, Portugal, in 8 games against Holland, but they're trailing to that Rafael van der Vaart goal, and Holland had just had another chance as well for Nigel de Jong, but he couldn't quite find the net. Here's Khedira inside Denmark territory, tackled by Zimling, who seems to be moving okay. Had the calf problem when he limped off against Portugal, but whatever they've done, the medical staff, he seems to be moving with his usual enthusiasm around the Danish midfield.
Yeah, if anything, it's probably slightly lower than his calf, almost in his Achilles. But it's a big match to miss, isn't it? He was always going to make this. It's just a question of how long does he last.
Those Denmark fans are sat back in their seats looking pretty glum-faced now. That red area in the corner of the stadium here in Lviv. The German fans away to our left-hand side. Well, it's party time for them. Midway through the first half, Germany lead 1-0 through Lucas Podolski's 44th international goal. But here's Eriksen on the right side for Denmark, faced by Philip Lahm. Youth against experience. Poked down the line now to Jakob Poulsen. Forced wide by Badstuber. Neat back heel though by Poulsen. And he's won Denmark a corner on the right. Jan Molby.
Yeah, anything lifts a team. It's the second set piece Denmark have had, and this will give it a lift. They've had a little spell of a little bit of possession. Lars Jakobsen, the right back, will take the corner. Everybody, 21 players inside the German half. Plenty of big Agger, Bentner chairs in there.
Joachim Löw with his white shirt on that gets tighter by the game. I think he's washed it on a 40 when it was only a 30 wash. It's almost sprayed on the Germany coach. On a sticky night in Lviv. Corner swung into the penalty area. Headed on by Bender, flicked on and in! Michael Crondelli with his second goal of the tournament. Denmark are level, and Denmark are back in a qualification spot in Group B. Big goal. Denmark won, Germany won.
Yeah, when you're not playing particularly well, you need set pieces to get you back in the game. It's a similar corner to the first one. A deep cross at the back of the penalty area. Bender does his job again, wins the header, back across. One of the smallest players in the Denmark team gets ahead of the defender, flick header, no chance. 1-1, Denmark back in it.
And I can confirm that now Denmark go second in Group B again. Germany 7, Denmark 4, Holland 3, Portugal 3. So Germany get us underway, and Denmark here have equalised with a goal by Michael Crondelli, his second goal of the tournament, scored against Holland in the first match. It was a corner from the right, headed powerfully goalwards by Nicholas Bentner and flicked beyond Manuel Neuer by Michael Crondelli. Earlier Podolski had given Germany the lead, but we're back all square, and that puts Denmark back into second place and a qualification spot. Denmark 1, Germany 1. And we've got 25 minutes of the first half gone as we update listeners to 5 Live. Just looking at Bert van Marwijk on the monitor, the Holland coach sat with his arms folded, looking pretty glum. If it stays like this, there's nothing the Dutch can do. While the Danes are level, Holland are out.
Absolutely, it's only the Portuguese now who can stop the Danes. Having said that, it's still a long way. But what you fear when you go 1-0 down against Germany is the fact that you have to come out and play a bit more, which will give them more space and time on the counter-attack. But it was good for Denmark to equalise and get back in the match as quick as they did.
The interesting thing, of course, is a Portugal goal, because if Portugal draw and Denmark draw, then Portugal would go through because they beat the Danes. That's the way it sits. At the moment, though, with the Danish supporters back on their feet, they don't know whether to stick or twist, do they, the Danish fans?
No, but
it's going to be one of those nights, isn't it?
They're having a good time at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah. We're not going to be biased on 5 Live Sports Extra, but we can forgive Jan Molby for jumping up and punching the air when that Crondelli header at the back of the net. You are allowed tonight, Jan.
Thank you very much, Darren. I've got a feel there's more to come. I think there'll be a few goals in this.
Yeah, I've not told the listeners what happened in the game against Portugal when Varela scored the goal, and I just saw a set of headphones go across my eyes, and they did belong to Jan Molby. Here's Ozil on the left-hand side for Germany, and he's run that ball out of play, surely. He has, and that's going to be a throw-in right by the corner flag on this right-hand side for Denmark. It's one of those nights where you want the heart rate monitor on Morten Olsen, just to see, and probably on you as well, just to see how it's affecting everybody in this sticky heat in Lviv.
Well, the interesting thing about Denmark is that they've only come out of their group 3 times in European Championships, and each time, their last games, 1984 beat Belgium 3-2, 1992 beat France 3-2, 2004 drew 2-2 with Sweden. So plenty of goals and plenty of drama. Let's hope we get a bit of that tonight.
Well, it certainly started that way, hasn't it? Germany have looked so good, have looked so efficient, but when you get the set pieces, You've got to make them count, and it really was an excellent far post header by Bentner to get the ball directed towards Neuer's goal, and it just took the flick from Crondelli, who scored that famous goal against Holland in the Group B opener, just to glance it beyond Neuer and effectively take the goalkeeper out of things.
Yeah, the goalkeeper had no chance, but he did the same with the first set piece, Denmark. Bentner header back across, they kind of cleared the area in front of the goalkeeper, and then when Bentner wins the header, they've got 2 or 3 runners coming in just trying to disturb or get in the way of the goalkeeper.
We've got the night skies over Lviv. It's almost 10:15 local time, but the humidity hasn't altered at all. It's extremely sticky and extremely humid, and you wonder how that might affect the players as the game goes on. Good overlapping run down the right by Lars Bender, clipped in towards Mario Gomez and headed away by Agger. Agger has been fantastic so far for Denmark. Now Eriksen looks a little bit more assured tonight. Christian Eriksen seems to have moved into a more freer role after starting on the right-hand side, and certainly enjoying more touches, Jan, that we've seen so far in the competition.
Yeah, I still think there's more to come though, isn't it? He needs a confidence booster from somewhere, whether it's creating or scoring a goal. But you're right, he's doing better, and he's just popping up in the middle a little bit more now. Leaves Lars Jakobsen on the right here to try and make his forward runs.
Bad news coming in from Kharkiv. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored for Portugal, so 1-1, and Portugal are back second. That would mean that Denmark would have to win the match, as the shot is driven in by Crondelli and driven wide of Manuel Neuer's right-hand post. The Danes in the far corner of the stadium haven't heard that news as yet, but Ronaldo has scored.
Well, I'm sure you'll deflate them all, Darren. I'm sure they're listening to you. It's just a ridiculous night so far, isn't it?
Germany 7, Portugal 4, Denmark 4, Holland 1. That's the way Group B stands at the moment, and it's just filtering through, I think, and the supporters who are waving the scarves around are now sitting down again. But it remains the same, Jan. Denmark know they've got to score. I mean, the best way that Denmark can go about things tonight is just to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that is very much the plan. The problem with that is they're up against a very smooth German team.
And that could potentially lead to elimination for Germany. If Denmark win by the right score and Portugal win as well, then the Germans could be out. Although here's Lahm. Good challenge inside the penalty area by Jakobsen, and then cleared away by Eriksen. Neuer's come a long way out of his goal, at least 30 yards, and he was able to beat Nicholas Bentner to the ball and hook it forward. And then we see a shove by Philip Lahm on Jakob Poulsen, was it?
No, it was on William Christ.
It was on William Christ.
Yeah, which was unnecessary. Strange decision by the goalkeeper. I never felt he had to come that far. The defenders were there, they could have dealt with it, cleared it upfield, and then Lahm gave away a needless free kick. Gets Denmark out of trouble.
This is like the last day of the Premier League season, isn't it? When you don't know what's going to happen.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and the fact, and it's been the line of the tournament, hasn't it? The teams go for it, they all score. You know, both teams have scored in both matches already. Fantastic entertainment.
We've seen so many tournaments, haven't we, recently, that have been dull.
Bored us.
Yeah, not had this kind of excitement that we're having at Euro 2012. Attacking football, lots of goals, and we've got a situation now with the final round of group matches to come where all of the groups have got an awful lot of football in them. Here we've got a scoreline of Denmark 1, Germany 1. Germany ahead through Podolski, equalised 5 minutes later by Crondelli. But in Kharkiv at the moment, it's Holland 1, Portugal 1. Holland ahead through Van der Vaart, Ronaldo with the equaliser, and it really has lifted Portugal, seeing them on the monitor. They're really taking the game to Holland now. Nani's just fired a shot just wide, so that's 1-1, and that would be enough to take the Portuguese through with the Germans. Here's Bentner, central position, midway inside the Germany half. Jakobsen now on the right-hand side. Little back heel to Eriksen, the youngster, such an exciting talent from Ajax. Then square to Zimling, the breaker-upper, if you like, in the Danish midfield. Laid off then by Poulsen, only to a white German shirt, and Ozil can glide towards the halfway line in possession and play a really good ball out to Thomas Muller on the right-hand side. He's covered by Agger this time. Muller just outside the penalty area, tried to flick it through towards Bender, and Agger blocked it, then makes the challenge. Then Muller throws himself to the ground, and the linesman over there on the far side has signalled for a free kick, and it's going to be a German ball a yard in from the touchline on the right.
2 players on the ground, both trying to get up. Muller makes the most of that. Free kick, but it's in a good position. We know they've got good delivery, the Germans. The centre-halves will come forward.
And we know that Germany statistically are the tallest squad at Euro 2012 as well, so we don't have to tell you that they're a real threat from the set piece, especially with the kind of delivery that Ozil can deliver from that far side. He's going to whip this in with his left foot, so it'll bend in towards Anderson's goal. Gomez standing just outside the 6-yard box. Slightly deeper in the penalty area are Hummels and Badstuber. In fact, Badstuber stood on the left edge of the box. He starts his run now. Flicked in by Ozil. He's missed it, the goalkeeper. And it's glanced behind for a corner by Bentner, with Mats Hummels charging in. He misread that totally, Stefan Andersson.
Yeah, he didn't quite get there, did he? But Nicholas Bentner was alert. He had to be at the far post. Heads it out, gives it away. Another set piece, a corner from the left. It's Schweinsteiger to take it.
Yep, Bastian Schweinsteiger on the left-hand side, who's going to play this short and play it back to Podolski. Podolski inside the area, clips in the cross. There's the volley from Gomez, didn't connect. He should have scored. He had all the time in the world to look at that, stare it down and pull the trigger, and he miskicked it, hit the ground and went wide. It was a really nicely worked corner from Germany.
They worked that ever so well, didn't they? It's come back to Podolski. He makes his way towards a penalty area, and you think he's going to shoot from that distance, and it's just a deft little cross into the penalty area. How Super Mario got so free 8 yards from goal is a bit of a mystery, but as you rightly said, Darren, should have scored.
Having seen the replay, they should have got a corner, Germany, because Agger actually got a bit of a block on that shot. So here come Denmark with Bentner, who had a big hand in the goal, which was scored by Krondelli. Forward now to Jakob Poulsen. Good run, really good defending though by Hummels. He is absolutely superb at reading the game, isn't he, the youngster from Borussia Dortmund?
Another thing, a bit like Agger, isn't it? Very good in those situations. 1 against 1. There was never any danger that Poulsen there was going to get past him. Very good defender. We've
got 4 fine central defenders here on show tonight, all relatively young as well, Agger being the most experienced. Muller inside the Denmark penalty area takes on Poulsen, who this time is able just to get his left foot to the ball, his left big toe, and stab it behind for a corner to Germany on the right. Jan Molby.
Yeah, the Germans, like the Portuguese, are seeing Poulsen as a weak link time and time again. It's Muller inside, outside. Poulsen never knows where he is.
Ozil with the white Alice band across there to take the corner from the Germany right. Hummels makes his way belatedly into the penalty area, in towards him, flicked away at the near post by Agger, hooked back in by Badstuber, cleared then by the blonde hair of Simon Kjær, and then he gets a second header away, and Ozil will regain the possession about 15 yards inside the Danish half on the right hand side. And one thing we can guarantee you is that Holland will continue to push forward, because the only way that Holland can qualify is to win the match. If they do anything other than win the game tonight, then they're out. So despite the fact it's 1-1 in Kharkiv, Holland have got to go for broke right the way through, which you would think is going to lead to quite a bit of drama as the night goes on.
I also think we can make the same promise here, can't we? That the Germans will keep coming.
Absolutely.
Will keep looking for that second goal. And Denmark, now they've settled. You know, they've got themselves a goal. They've had some decent possession. I also think they got more to offer.
Ronaldo's just had a 25-yarder tipped over the bar by Stekelenburg. And from the resulting corner, Ronaldo's headed it just wide from 8 yards. So the Portuguese chances continue to come, but 1-1 in Kharkiv. And with 10 minutes to go in the first half here, it's 1-1 as well between Denmark and Germany. Podolski with his 44th international goal on the night he wins his 100th cap from 6 yards out, following a Thomas Muller cross. And then 5 minutes later, after 24 minutes, a corner whipped in from the right, headed forward by Bentner and flicked into the net for his second goal of the tournament by Michael Krondelli, the Brøndby player. Here's Hummels for Germany. Through the centre circle to Badstuber, and then Badstuber forward into the centre circle in Danish territory to Schweinsteiger. Now Khedira down the right-hand side. Khedira can spin away. Played back to Schweinsteiger, and then Schweinsteiger out to Ozil. We've got 10 minutes to go in the first half here, and it's 1-1 between Denmark and Germany. Germany have just won a free kick inside the D, about a foot outside the penalty area. Podolski fired Germany ahead with a close-range finish after 19 minutes, following Muller's cross on the right. Winning his 100th cap tonight, he's just scored his 44th goal. Krondelli equalised 5 minutes later with a close-range header from a corner. Germany, though, looking the better side, and Denmark feeling the pressure. Denmark 1, Germany 1. So free kick to Germany, Jan, in a very dangerous position. It's no more than a foot and a half as it's outside the penalty area, inside the D, just to the right of centre, and they're queuing up in the white shirts around the ball.
Yeah, I just think it's a blaster, isn't it? There's no room to get it over and back down, so I think Podolski's just going to whack this.
Podolski looks more likely. Ozil and Schweinsteiger either side of the ball. Lahm is just to the left of it, and Bender is there as well. The Danish wall has 5 or 6 players in it, as well as Mario Gomez and Sami Khedira. It's about 2 yards outside the 6-yard box, with Stefan Andersson crouching behind it to try and see the ball through all of those players. There must be 12 or 13 players in a line, in front of the Danish goalkeeper. Podolski's going to walk on and smash it left-footed just over the bar. What brilliant power from Podolski. Just lacked a bit of direction.
Yeah, it did indeed. No doubt about the power. We know he's got a wonderful, lethal left foot, and he's hit that ever so well. I mean, we spoke about the ball on a number of occasions. This is a real true ball.
Yeah.
You know, and hence the reason we've had so many great shots from distance. Not necessarily so many great goals, but we've had some great shots from distance.
We've got listeners joining us all the time, so to update the groups as they stand at the moment, 1-1 here in Lviv between Germany and Denmark. Same scoreline in Kharkiv between Holland and Portugal. Germany led here, Holland led in Kharkiv. At the moment, Germany will go through as group winners. Portugal will join them in the semi-finals, and Denmark and Holland will go home. Lahm, the German captain, out to Bender on the right-hand side, whips the cross in, stabbed away by Poulsen, picked up by Podolski. Podolski turns inside the penalty area, back to Khedira, stands it up far post to Schweinsteiger, and the bounce of the ball just made it awkward for the Bayern Munich midfielder, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Denmark.
But again, it's a deep cross. This time it was Schweinsteiger. Well, you're right when you said before in your report for 5 Live, but Germans are looking the better team. They just look smoother, got better players, but we knew that before the game. You know, Denmark needed a bit of luck. They got themselves back into the match really quick.
Denmark have got a slight problem here for me, Jan, and that is that they're finding it really hard to keep possession and create chances inside Germany's half.
Yeah, from open play there's been nothing. They've had 2 corners, scored from one of them, had a half a chance from the other one, but from open play, as of yet, nothing.
Morten Olsen, though, isn't a coach who will panic. He'll keep the poker face and he won't pull the trigger too early. He is aware, of course, of what the implications in Group B are tonight for Denmark, but he's not likely to panic, is he? A man who's seen it all as a player and a coach.
No, absolutely not. And also, he doesn't have an awful lot of options from the bench. I think he's quite happy. I think the team are playing as well as they can against a very good German team.
Poulsen gave the ball away. Simon Poulsen, the left-back for Denmark, who's been shaky right the way through this tournament. But Denmark have got a throw 5 yards inside Germany's half on the left, with 6.5 minutes of the first half to play. 1-1 here in Lviv. Germany through Podolski. Equaliser for Denmark through Crondelli. 1-1 in Kharkiv as well. Van der Vaart for Holland. Ronaldo for Portugal. Ronaldo's first goal. He's arrived at the tournament at last. Nice turn by Eriksson. Poked forward to Poulsen. Shot by Zimling. Charged down by Hummels. And then headed away on the far side by Bender. Nice turn by Christian Eriksen. Really smart play. Eriksen just outside Germany's penalty area. Poor pass. Poulsen ran one way, Eriksen went the other, and Germany can break now towards the halfway line with their goal scorer Lukas Podolski. Now Philipp Lahm, one of the best attacking fullbacks in the business, on this left-hand side. Infield to Khedira, and then Khedira to Schweinsteiger, who never gives the ball away. Muller on the far side. Muller still waiting for his first goal of the tournament, denied early on by a fantastic save in this match by Anderson. And now here's Lars Bender, looks very assured at right back. Never played there before, remember, as a professional, either for Leverkusen or for Germany, but he's slotted in there, Jan, tonight, and hasn't put a foot wrong.
No, he's like the rest of them, isn't he? He's mobile, he's technically very good, knows the game, so it's been very smooth for him.
Another young player, only 23, he's played at all levels now for Germany, through the youth system and the under-21s, and to the full side. Khedira, and now Podolski, left side, midway inside Denmark territory. Lots and lots of movement around this Germany team, who seem to have got better with every match. A little bit awkward against Portugal in the first game, more fluid against Holland, and really good tonight. Gomez inside the box, almost managed to wriggle away from Kvist, and then the ball smashed to safety by the Danish defenders all the way through to Holger Badstuber inside his own half.
I just think the difference between Holland and Denmark is that the 2 Danish centre-halves are better than the 2 Dutch central defenders were.
Here's Ozil on the left-hand side, glides in menacingly from the touchline. Gomez didn't gather. The job done for him by Muller. Now he's got the ball again. Gomez tried to play Khedira. Poor defending, stab goalwards and just wide. It hit Kvist and bounced down for Sami Khedira, who struck it first time with the outside of his right boot. And with Anderson flying to his left, that went just wide. Yeah,
you can't keep getting away with making mistakes like those. This time it was Kvist. They played a 1-2 Khedira and Gomez, and Kvist just has to clear that. Comes off his thigh. It's a chance for Sami Khedira. Doesn't quite get enough on it. Goes harmlessly wide.
Obviously, we're concentrating fully on our game here in Lviv, but we've got the Holland-Portugal match on the monitor to bring you the goals as quickly as they can as they go in. And I can tell you, Cristiano Ronaldo is having a really big game for them tonight.
I'm delighted.
Jan Molby with us. We're trying to keep him smiling. At the moment he's not, because Denmark would be going home. Portugal would go through in second, and Germany would win the group at the moment with 7 points out of 9, and thus would set up a quarter-final showdown with Greece, who shocked us all by knocking Russia out last night. Here's Ozil for Germany. Glides across the field. He's such an elegant player, the Real Madrid player. And now Khedira, his teammate at the Bernabeu. And then out towards Lars Bender, the Bayer Leverkusen player. And then to Bayern Munich's Thomas Muller. Muller midway inside the German half on the right. Back to Khedira. And then to Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger will play it simple. Just turns away. Finds the feet of Ozil. And then Ozil to Muller. And then Ozil buys himself a bit of space and ambles forward, exchanges passes with Thomas Muller again, and then flicks it to the Bayern Munich player again, and then back to Mesut Ozil. Important challenge by Poulsen. They almost walked it in Germany.
Yeah, they do, yeah. They're playing some good stuff at the moment. Very, very confident. All the German players really enjoying their football. Müller, Ozil involved. They're creating...
Muller down the right, promising again for the Germans. Into Gomez. Gomez away from Agger. Still Gomez. He's going to go right through, is he? Anderson just able to dive at his feet and clutch the ball. I think he was injured in the process, the Evian goalkeeper, but he had to be brave because Mario Gomez was bearing down on Denmark's goal.
Yeah, I was just saying, just before the chance, they're creating chances, they're creating space. This time it's Gomez. I think it's a good job he doesn't look to his left. On his left, Ozil completely free. If he just passes to him, it's a certain goal. He got a little greedy. Two Danish central defenders yet again crowded around him, dealt with the danger.
Denmark 1, Germany 1, Holland 1, Portugal 1. At the moment, Germany and Portugal are going through. I'm thinking about the 3 Ds from your lot's perspective. Danish defensive discipline.
That's the one. And the fourth one, dynamite.
Dynamite.
The other end.
Danish dynamite. Just over, or just less than 2 minutes of the first half to go. Plus
enjoyable first half.
Oh, very enjoyable.
Say,
and the game's hardly stopped, has it?
No, that's right, yeah.
Game's hardly
we worried
stopped.
about the referee before the game.
It's been an easy game for him to referee, hasn't it? Even he can't spoil this one at the moment. Shan't speak too soon. You're listening to 5 Live Sports Extra from the BBC. Live from Lviv on a hot, sticky, humid night in the east of Ukraine, with both of these Group B deciders level at the moment. Denmark 1, Germany 1, Holland 1, Portugal 1. Portugal the better team at the moment, though, in Kharkiv, and Germany the better team here in Lviv. Eriksson spins away from Schweinsteiger and then plays it into space to the far side, and the overlapping Simon Poulsen. Really good first touch by the substitute. Bears down on Bender in the penalty area. Didn't cross it quickly enough. Bender blocks it, and it's behind for a corner on the left-hand side to Denmark.
That'll do, though, won't it? That's been Denmark's best opportunity so far from set pieces. Christian Eriksen's going across to take it. Bentner taking up his position right at the back of the penalty area.
Denmark's goal, remember, came from a corner which was headed on by Bentner and headed in by Krondelli. This time Eriksson is going to be the man to deliver from the left-hand side. Bentner again is in that far post position, this time though marked by Hummels. It's a low corner, takes a flick off a German defender, and Hummels can head away as far as Zimling. Zimling midway inside the German half to Krondelli, really nice touch, and now Eriksson can run into the penalty area. Terrible ball, tried to find Christ, cleared as far as Jakob Poulsen, deep ball into Bentner, headed down by Bentner, headed back by Agger. Simon Kjær with a shot, and that's blocked by Schweinsteiger's shins inside the penalty area, and now the leggy Thomas Muller can run away down the left. Zimling makes the challenge, and it's out for a Germany throw.
Yeah, they got a little lucky there, Denmark, but eventually the cross came. Again he was deep, again he was Bentner's header back across, and the chance in the end fell for Kjær, but the German defenders were out too quick and blocked the effort.
This really is a fantastic football match. Minute of stoppage time to play at the end of the first half. 1-1 in Lviv. Germany this time, and Schweinsteiger, that's a collector's item.
Dreadful.
Didn't find a white shirt, take him off.
How often is he going to give the ball away?
Once, I think.
Okay.
It's half-time, by the way, in Kharkiv. Half-time score, Portugal 1, Holland 1, Van der Vaart after 11 minutes, Ronaldo after 27. They will go in at half-time and hear the score from here and know that at the moment they're through to the quarter-finals with Germany. And Anderson's got the ball, the Danish goalkeeper, who clears over the halfway line. The Spanish referee allows the game to continue. It bounces onto the chest of Philipp Lahm, and then Lahm back to Neuer, and the Spanish referee blows the half-time whistle. Well, Podolski fired Germany in front after 19 minutes with a close-range finish. 5 minutes later, Krondelli was able to equalise, but there were really good opportunities in that first half for Podolski again, for Muller, and also for Mario Gomez. And Group B at half-time, Jan Molby, extremely finely balanced.
Yeah, it's a wonderful game of football. the favourites are dominating possession, but the underdogs are giving as good as they've got. The two Danish central defenders, Kjær and Agger, are standing tall. Great second half to come.
Half-time in Lviv then. It's Denmark 1, Germany 1. Remarkable statistic at half-time. The passive stats. Philip Lahm completed all 36 of his attempted passes in the first half. It's the first 100% success rate I think I've seen through the tournament. No changes for Denmark either. So Andersen the goalkeeper, Jakobsen, Kjær, Agger and Poulsen, then Kvist, Zimling and Jakob Poulsen, Eriksson, Krondeli the goal scorer, and Nicholas Bentner. Germany and Portugal heading through from Group B. Denmark have got 45 minutes yet and they've got to get a goal from somewhere.
Yeah, they have. There was two Danish substitutes who were warming up at the half-time, as if you thought they might just about to be getting involved. That was Christian Poulsen, who's a defensive midfield player, so there must still be some doubt over Zimling, and Silberbauer, who can play left-back.
Well, that wouldn't be a surprising change, as poor as Simon Poulsen has been, the left-back, right the way through the competition, really. He's given a torrid time by Nani here in this stadium 4 days ago, and he's had a similarly tough time against Thomas Muller, who you'd not say is an out-and-out winger, but he's just been too good for Poulsen, who gets himself in some very strange defensive positions.
He stops nothing, does he? He stops no crosses coming in, he doesn't spot danger quick enough.
Here's Khedira running through the Danish midfield out towards Muller. And just as Jan Molby suggested that Poulsen doesn't stop anything, he steps in and makes the challenge. If I'd have said it, he would have done exactly the same.
Absolutely.
So Denmark in the red shirts with the white shoulders, the white shorts and the red socks. They're playing from right to left in the second half, attacking the teeth of the German support behind Manuel Neuer's goal. Germany in those very famous white shirts with the black shorts and the white socks. It's the shirt we've seen in the town centre here at Lviv ever since the tournament started. Germany playing in this stadium for the second time, just like Denmark, who've got a really good travelling support of their own, but I doubt there's a better supported team than Germany here, outside of the two co-hosts, Ukraine and Poland. Ball played forward towards Eriksson, who will chase. Badstuber, the very elegant defender from Bayern Munich, will play it back to his Allianz Arena colleague Neuer, and he can whack the long clearance over the halfway line, where Poulsen beats Muller in the air, picked up now by Nicky Zimling, and then back to Poulsen. Poulsen plays it forward up the left-hand side, but only finds the head of Bender, and then Muller used an arm to control the ball, and that's going to be a Danish free kick on the left-hand side. It's important, isn't it, Jan, that Denmark come out with a decent tempo?
Yeah, I think so, but it's been a little scrappy the first couple of minutes in the second half. In the first half, the Germans settled very quick. Now it's scrappy, and I actually think that suits Denmark.
You're listening to 5 Live Sports Extra. Highlights of both of tonight's matches on BBC One at 10:55, and more games for you tomorrow night. Ireland-Italy on 5 Live, and Spain-Croatia here on 5 Live Sports Extra. Both of those kicking off simultaneously, of course, at 7:45. A ball crossed in from the left-hand side by Ozil, hits Simon Kjær, and that's out for a German throw, level with the edge of the Denmark penalty area on the left-hand side. Germany playing from left to right. Still 1-1 in Kharkiv between Portugal and Holland, and Denmark will hope, if they can't score in this match here against Germany, that Holland can score in the game against the Portuguese, because if Holland win the match and Denmark get a draw here, then Denmark would be through. At the moment it's Germany on 7, Portugal on 4, Denmark on 4, but Portugal have that victory over the Danes, so they would go through. Whichever way you look at it right now, Holland are going out. Crossed in by Lahm into the penalty area, too near the goalkeeper, and Stefan Andersen can make the grab. Jan Molby.
Yeah, they create the space well. The Germans play around in wide positions, get men in the box. It's one thing they're very good at, the Germans, is getting 3, 4, 5 players in the penalty area when the crosses do come in.
Stefan Andersen made that really good save early in the match from Thomas Muller. He was also brave at the feet of Mario Gomez in the first half. The better chances have gone to Germany. Denmark have only really threatened when they've had corners, where they have been a real threat against this very tall German side. Badstuber's got the ball in the left-back position for Germany, the defensive left-back position, and then Lahm plays it forward to Podolski, and then back to Badstuber. And they're just passing the ball around on the far side in that left-back area. And then Badstuber hits it long up towards Podolski, who can't move away from Kvist. So Kjær can play it forward. Little flick by Bentner. And only finds a German defender, Badstuber. And then a wonderful first touch on the left-hand side by Gomez. And the big man from Bayern Munich's off and running. Hits the shot, bobbled it. And that's 5 yards wide of Anderson's right-hand post.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you think he almost deserved the shot. It was a wonderful first touch on the touchline. Came inside. Again, he had options. But I guess with the mood he's in, scoring goals, 3 already so far in the tournament, he's entitled to have a shot from that distance.
13 successive competitive wins for the Germans coming into the match, dating back to the semi-final of the World Cup against Spain in South Africa. They did lose a couple of matches, though, in the build-up to the tournament to Switzerland and France, so they're not infallible, this German unit, although it's going to take a really good team to beat them. Denmark are trying to be that team tonight, and trying to be the team that can join Germany maybe in the quarter-finals of the competition. At the moment, Germany would face Greece, and Portugal would take on the Czech Republic. They would be the quarter-finals following Group A and Group B if it were to finish now. In Kharkiv, it's still Holland 1, Portugal 1. It's 1-1 here as well, and we've played 50 minutes of the match in Lviv on a hot, sticky night in Ukraine. Good overlapping run down the left-hand side by Simon Poulsen. Squeezes the cross into Bentner. Bentner back to Jakob Poulsen. Jakob Poulsen hits it wide. That was so close to a Danish goal. He can't believe he missed it. And nor can Jan Molby sitting next to me.
No, it was one of those only you thought it was in. I mean, they worked it ever so well. Agger, for some reason, found himself on the left, and he played a beautiful pass down the line for Poulsen, who then put a first-time cross in for Bentner, and he did ever so well. And he hits the outside of the post. Jakob Poulsen arrived late. Beautiful setup. The timing was absolute. The only thing lacking, a couple of inches.
Neuer was beaten.
Oh yeah, the keeper would have never got anywhere near that.
What a chance for Denmark. This could be a very dramatic 40 minutes of football on 5 Live Sports Extra and over on 5 Live as well. 1-1 here in Lviv, 1-1 in Kharkiv. It's as we were when the group kicked off tonight. But just think back to the final day of the Premier League season and everything that happened in the second half that day. I know there were more teams involved, but it could be that kind of occasion, couldn't it? Here's Lahm on the left-hand side, the German captain. Very good player. Little ball infield to Gomez, and then to Schweinsteiger. The trio from Bayern Munich involved with each other. And then Poulsen just steps out the way of the cross and allows it to sail behind, and that's a goal kick to Denmark away to the right-hand side.
They don't seem to have started as well as they did in the first half, the Germans. It's Denmark slightly on top, playing the better football.
Suppose that Germany know at the minute, the way it is, that a lot's got to happen in these respective games for them to actually get knocked out.
Yeah, absolutely, but of course what they want to make sure is that they win the group.
Only Badstuber of the German 11 out there tonight is a player on a yellow card. They're wiped off the yellow cards when the group stage is over, so you've got a clean slate for the quarter-finals. Simon Poulsen, Lars Jakobsen, William Quist and Jakob Poulsen are Danish players on yellow cards, so they've got to be careful. Here come Germany, played forward towards Ozil and slid out by Agger for a throw-in on the left-hand side. 52 minutes played, Denmark 1, Germany 1. Holland 1, Portugal 1 is the latest score in Kharkiv. In fact, there's just been a really good chance for the Dutch on the edge of the 6-yard box with a cross that came in, and Ron Vlaar headed it over the crossbar, and he really should have scored, which would have got those Danish fans bouncing around again on the far side of the stadium. Jan Molby's just seen that chance. He should have scored, Jan, shouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. What a great opportunity that was.
Here comes Ozil for Germany. We're trying to keep you across both of the matches as best we can on 5 Live Sports Extra. Here's Schweinsteiger for the Germans, midway inside the Danish half in a central position. And then Khedira to Bender. And then Schweinsteiger. You'd think Bender had been a right-back all the way through his career, as well as he's played on that right defensive side for Germany in this match. Got to give the Spanish referee a bit of credit as well. He's given all those red cards out in his last 27 matches, and he's been anonymous. This is obviously why he's been selected for the tournament, yeah. Here's Ozil. Clips a pass through to Muller, just outside the Danish penalty area. Muller works it onto his right foot, slides it into Gomez. The big man tries to turn. Ozil should have shot, fell over. Don't know what he was thinking, Mesut Ozil. Tried to put the brakes on, lost his footing, and Zimling can play it away.
I think he was just trying to be a little bit too clever there, Ozil. The ball's played back to him. He wanted for the ball to run through his legs so he could do something fancy. As you rightly said, there was a shot on.
Throw into Denmark then, on the left-hand side. And Simon Poulsen Takes it, exchanges passes with Crondelli, and then Zimling is caught from behind by Muller. That's going to be a free kick. I noticed that Germany have got some substitutes warming up on this near side touchline. I can see the number 9 Andre Schürrle is down there, and the number 18 Toni Kroos, the youngster from Bayern Munich, and Miroslav Klose as well. Such an embarrassment of riches on the German bench. There's a Danish player, Tobias Mikkelsen, who played well when coming on in the defeat against Portugal. He's warming up as well. He's a very attack-minded player in a wide area for the Danes. Agger takes the free kick, gives it to Simon Kjær on the halfway line, and then Lars Jakobsen on the right side. Jakobsen back to Kjær. 55 minutes played in Lviv on a sticky night. Sticky for Denmark at the moment because they're on their way out. Denmark 1, Germany 1, because it's still 1-1 in Kharkiv. Here's Agger with his hair shaved to the bone on each side of his head in that Mohican style through the middle, the Liverpool defender. Now Simon Kjær out towards Jakobsen. Jakobsen midway inside the Germany half, faced by Lahm, cuts in field, good attacking run by the fullback, clipped in towards Zingling, half a yard in front of Nicky Zimling. It doesn't make that run very often, and the ball collected by Neuer.
Yeah, and I just think, coming back to Mikkelsen, who's warming up, it is a possibility that Denmark might take one of the 3 centre midfield players off, just to give him a little bit more going forward.
Don't forget, we've got coverage of the final round of the US Open Golf from 10 o'clock tonight. Lee Westwood and Graham McDowell certainly in the mix. Can Westwood win his first major? Russell Fuller and the team will let you know. And I thought it might be a successful weekend for a person called Mikkelsen. Phil Mickelson didn't make the cut, did he, in San Francisco? So maybe Tobias Mikkelsen might be the Mikkelsen they're toasting this weekend.
Well, he's our only hope, isn't he?
The only hope at the moment, yeah. There aren't too many Mikkelsens floating around, are there, to be honest? Jan Molby with us here in Lviv with Joachim Löw with that extremely tight white shirt on and the even tighter grey slacks on the edge of his technical area. Denmark have got the ball, and it's with Bentner. We've played 56 minutes in the second half here. Still Denmark 1, Germany 1. The 2 goals in the first half from Podolski and Crondelli. But a fantastic chance in the second half for the Danes. The ball was played into Jakob Poulsen. He was 12 yards from goal. His shot beat Neuer and shaved the outside of the post. Lots of tension inside the stadium. Denmark looking for a goal. It's Denmark 1, Germany 1. And the ball is with Agger on this left-hand side. We're updating the listeners on 5 Live throughout the commentary here on 5 Live Sports Extra as Crondelli spins away from Bender and gives it to Simon Poulsen on the left-hand side, who gets away from Muller, but he was offside, and that's a free kick in the right-back position to Germany. Yeah,
I definitely think Denmark have played a lot better, a lot more decisive in the second half than what they did in the first half. And at the moment, the Germans obviously must be aware of what's happening in Kharkiv, and I think they're just going through the motions a little bit.
Yeah. And they've won 2 of the last 3 in tournament finals, have Denmark against Germany, including that famous victory in 1992. Germany haven't actually beaten Denmark in international football for 16 years. The build-up to Euro 96, which ironically was the last tournament that Germany won, is the last time they beat Denmark. And Denmark haven't lost to Germany with Morten Olsen as the coach. So history would suggest they're more than a match for the Germans on a one-off occasion, and we're seeing that again tonight. Although Germany are coming forward now with Schweinsteiger inside right position, forward to Ozil, and then Schweinsteiger square to Khedira, Khedira to Badstuber, Badstuber about 5 yards inside Danish territory on the left, and now the fullback Lahm, who loves to get forward down that left-hand side. Lahm moves away from Jakobsen, rides the challenge, gets the ball to Muller, and then Muller to Podolski. Podolski back to Muller, who went down on the edge of the Germany penalty area. The Spanish referee says play on, and Denmark have got the ball again.
Yeah, what they're doing now, Germany, we spoke about it before, almost going through the motions, and I just think they're playing too slow at the moment. Too many touches, too slow. Still 2 options at this stage for Denmark. A goal for them in this match against the Germans would get them back into a qualification spot, or a goal for Holland against Portugal in Kharkiv would get them back into a qualification spot. So lots can happen. Jakob Poulsen running through the heart of the German midfield, but didn't play a very accurate pass, and Schweinsteiger can tidy it back up to Neuer, who can clear out towards Ozil on the far side. The touch of these German players is always excellent, isn't it? Yeah, it was a great first touch there by Ozil again. Didn't quite get away from the from the Danish defender, but they're back in possession.
With Schweinsteiger inside the centre circle. Now he's inside the Danish half and plays it out towards the left side, and the goal scorer Podolski. Podolski gives it back to Schweinsteiger, and then Khedira, big, tall and muscular, the Real Madrid player. Now Ozil, who's not quite as thick set, but he's almost as tall as Sami Khedira. Back now to Schweinsteiger, who always takes up that deep lying role in midfield for Germany, where he can get many, many touches of the ball. Khedira now surges forward down the left edge of the Danish penalty area, tracked by Zimling. Zimling's defended well. Khedira then gives the ball away straight to Christian Eriksen, and the Ajax youngster can play it short in field to Zimling, and then forward to Krondelli to Kvist, and then to Jakob Poulsen, out towards Simon Poulsen on the left hand side. Not related, there's a Christian Poulsen as well. And now Daniel Agger on the left hand side. He's amongst the subs, by the way, the former Liverpool player. Simon Poulsen towards Bentner, didn't make it stick, and Hummels can tidy things up and play it to Badstuber. And now Khedira just outside the centre circle, but still inside his own half. And now gone in Lviv, 1-1 between Germany and Denmark, 1-1 in Kharkiv between Portugal and Holland. At the moment it's Germany and Portugal going through. Bender crosses, and it's hacked away by Daniel Agger out towards the near side. It bounces, and Lars Bender lets it go out of play for a throw to Germany.
Yeah, I think the difference between Germany in the first and second half is that in the first half they were always on the move. The man just about to receive the ball was always coming onto the ball. That's not quite happening here in the second half.
Here's Schweinsteiger on the right. Not too surprised by that, because at the moment they are going through as group winners, and they do want to preserve their energy, don't they, for the quarter-final.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. It's a sensible approach. The Germans are nothing but methodical, are they, in tournaments like this?
But I also think the Danes have realised that.
Yes.
And I think they've just stepped up a little bit. It's just whether there is enough quality going forward.
Tobias Mikkelsen is just increasing the warm-up down the near side touchline. I feel that he might be on pretty soon for Denmark. In the meantime, Germany have got the ball with Ozil. And Ozil to Bender, and then Bender infield to Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger back to Ozil on the right hand side, faced by Simon Poulsen, who's having a much better second half than first half. Schweinsteiger on the right touchline, ambles inside and then plays it square to Sami Khedira. Khedira to Ozil, makes everything stick. Ozil just outside the area to Gomez, and back to Schweinsteiger, and now Podolski, lunging challenge, successful one from Kjær, and Eriksen plays it forward to Nicholas Bentner, who almost gave it straight back to Germany. Kjær had to make a really important challenge on Podolski. Now forward comes Muller with the long legs. Muller to the edge of the box and then helps on once more. Khedira clips it into the area, and Zimling deflects it behind for a corner to Germany.
Just a little bit on top again, the Germans, without the tempo from the first half, but they're just starting again to dominate possession. I think we're at a stage now, aren't we, where both teams fairly quickly going to make some substitutions.
Yeah, tiredness is going to be a factor in this match, there's no doubt about that, as sticky as it is here in Lviv. And Germany have got this corner on the right side. Mesut Ozil is going to swing it in with his left foot, so it'll bend in towards Anderson's goal. Here it comes from Ozil into the centre towards Hummels, and punched away by the Danish goalkeeper, and then headed back to the halfway line by Podolski to Lahm. Lahm can carry it forward and find Muller on the left hand side, midway inside the Denmark half, fizzed in by Muller towards Gomez, and an excellent sliding challenge to clear away by Simon Kjær from the edge of the Denmark 6-yard box. Jan Molby.
It's all to do with your starting position, and the two centre halves, their starting position has been excellent, and it's had to be.
Here's Badstuber. You can hear the noise the Germany fans are making away to our left-hand side. Really enjoying Euro 2012, the German fans. The Danes will as well, if they can drag themselves back into second place in Group B. At the moment, Denmark are heading home with Holland, and Portugal will go through to meet the Czech Republic, and Germany will face Greece. Schweinsteiger hits the shot, blocked by a Danish leg, and then cleared away by Zimling. Interesting passage of play this, with Germany dominating things. Bentner's just committed the foul on Schweinsteiger, right under the nose of the referee, and it's going to be a free kick 5 yards outside the centre circle to the Danes. They actually both got the ball and trod on the ball, didn't they? So could have gone either way, that, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's done well there, the referee, to work that one out. In the end, he's given it to Germany, who are just about to make a substitution.
You know, these managers are so predictable, aren't they? Paolo Bento has now taken off Postiga for Oliveira at the same stage of every game in the group. He's just done it again in Kharkiv. And here's the change for Germany, and they are going to start preserving one or two. Lucas Podolski coming off, and André Schürrle the Bayer Leverkusen striker is coming off.
Yeah, surely. I saw him play in the Champions League for Leverkusen. Obviously, he got a bit of a run around by Barcelona in the end. But whenever he plays for Germany in that wide role on the left, he scores a few goals, that's for sure. He's got a real eye for goals.
He has, and he's on for the Germans with 20 minutes gone in the second half. Only 21 years old, Andre Schürrle. Has been one or two rumours that Chelsea might be interested in him. He did play last season in the Champions League for Leverkusen against Chelsea. One of his teammates at Leverkusen, the former Chelsea player, Michael Ballack. So Schürrle on for Podolski. Schweinsteiger, in the meantime, continues a German attack on the left-hand side. 1-1 here in Lviv, 1-1 in Kharkiv. Portugal and Germany going through. Unless Denmark can score or Holland can score, and then it all changes again. Bender forward to Ozil. Ozil on this right touchline, moves away from Simon Poulsen, and then into the penalty area to Gomez. Flicked on, down goes Muller, no foul, and the ball back with Anderson, the Danish goalkeeper.
Yeah, again, I mean, for as long as they keep coming through the middle, where Denmark are strong defensively, I think Denmark can cope. It's when they come down the flanks and get behind the full-backs and put in crosses, that's when they're real dangerous. But at the moment, defensively, Denmark are coping, going forward. They've been a little timid in the last 15 minutes.
I think that the one thing as well that might raise Danish spirits is the fact that we know Portugal can't defend very well. They didn't defend very well in qualifying, and they didn't defend very well here, did they, when we saw them 4 days ago? Despite the fact they won that match, they look very shaky at the back, and you feel that Holland have got, the attacking players to really put that defence under pressure. Played forward and headed away by Bad Stuber. We've just seen a really good save by Stekelenburg from Quen Trao on the monitor here. So Portugal looking for a go-ahead goal that would just about finish Denmark off, but Stekelenburg made a good save. Quen Trao hit the shot from the edge of the penalty area, and Stekelenburg made the save diving to his right. We're trying to watch a game and a screen here in Lviv to try and keep you right on top of the action on Sports Extra. You won't get a better service anywhere else, I can promise you that. At the moment, Group B looks like this: Germany 7, Portugal 4, Denmark 4 and Holland 1. But Denmark would go out because of the fact they lost that match with that goal 3 minutes from time here through Varela to the Portuguese. And Afellay is about to come on for Holland in Kharkiv. Here's Ozil for Germany on the right-hand side, faced by William Kvist. Still Mesut Ozil, and then back to Sami Khedira, out to Lars Bender. Bender then plays the ball back to Schweinsteiger, and then Schweinsteiger to Ozil, and then to Lahm. It's like torture, this, for Denmark. They can't get the ball off the Germans. Now it's with Schürrle on the left-hand side. Van Barwijk has made a very attacking change. He's taken off the fullback Jetro Willems for the attack-minded Afellay. So they're certainly trying to win that game, Holland, which could see Denmark through. Ball played into Schürrle. Schürrle went for goal. Anderson saved it diving to his left. It was a really tight angle. Anderson could only parry the ball away, and Poulsen can clear down the left-hand side for Denmark.
Played it ever so well, the Germans, though. They're possessing for a long time. Eventually they work the opening. Khedira's pass in behind Jakobsen, and Schürrle has just come on. It was a tight angle with his right foot. He tried to bend it, roll it into the far corner. Good save, goalkeeper.
Here's Schürrle again on the left-hand side, trying to make an impact. Gomez denied the ball by Agger, picked up then by Khedira. Out to Ozil, left-hand side, pops up all over the place, in towards Gomez, and steered away by Christen, out for a throw on the left-hand side to the Germans. Just looking at this Danish team at the minute, Jan, it looks like it needs a spark from somewhere. Yeah,
the problem's been the last 5 minutes playing without the ball in this heat, when you know you need to get hold of the ball and try and go and create something. So I think the only thing that can help Denmark now is substitutes.
Well, warming up for them at the moment, Christian Poulsen, Tobias Mikkelsen, and I think... and I can't see the one because he's turned his back. I'll tell you who else is warming up in a second. 23 minutes gone in the second half. Germany 1, Denmark 1. Germany attacking on the right with Bender to Muller. Andreas Bjelland is also warming up. Here's Khedira, and now Muller. Poor pass. Khedira hadn't continued the run, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to the Danes. Still 1-1 in Kharkiv between Holland and Portugal. And 1-1 here as well between Denmark and Germany. Lots and lots of attacking flair on the field for the Dutch at the moment. Count them: Huntelaar, Schneider, Robben, Van der Vaart, Afellay. So many attacking threats. Portugal at the moment have the point they need to go through.
Have they got anyone to keep Portugal out at the other end? I'll
wait and see. Germany have got a throw midway inside their own half on the left-hand side with 21 minutes to play. We'll get to a stage soon where it will become a little bit more urgent for Denmark, because the only way they can save themselves is to win the match, and they don't look like winning the match at the moment because they can't get possession inside Germany's half. Crondelli plays it forward, but Bentner is so far ahead of his colleagues that they've got no real chance to make it stick and get out.
It wasn't so evident in the first half, but in the second half he's been isolated, Bentner. It's very difficult. You said Denmark don't look like they're going to win the game, but the Germans don't look like they're trying to win it either. They're just happy in possession, knocking the ball around, taking the sting out of the Danish play.
Is the fear not, though, Jan, that the amount of ball they're having around the penalty area, they will create chances in the end?
You know, it doesn't take long for the goal.
Morten Olsen down there in the dark suit with the blue shirt on, he's got his hands in his pockets. And Manu won over 100 caps for Denmark, and he's been in the job for 12 years. And the ball is on the right with Eriksen. 20 minutes to go. Denmark 1, Germany 1. Germany controlling possession in this second half. Both goals came in the first half. Podolski for Germany and Crondelli with a headed goal to equalise for Denmark. They've hit the post in the second half, have the Danes, through Jakob Poulsen, but they can't get the ball off the Germans at the moment, and it remains Denmark 1, Germany 1. Here's Crondelli into the penalty area as we update listeners to 5 Live. And then the shot comes in. It's an awkward one for Neuer from Zimling. And that's, well, it's tipped behind in a fashion by Neuer for a corner. And we know how dangerous Denmark can be from the set pieces,
yeah. It was one of those, will he, won't he, from distance. In the end, he decides to shoot Zimling. I think the goalkeeper actually makes a bit of a rick. No need to give that away for the set piece. Corner for Denmark. Crondelli goes across to take it. Everybody, 21 players in the German half.
Well, maybe this is the chance. We'll wait and see. Bentner has taken up that far post position. Corner taken short to Jakob Poulsen, then rolled back to Christian Eriksen. Eriksen lifts it in. That's a terrible corner by Denmark. Well, they had so much success by putting a high ball into the middle. I can't understand why they've wasted a set piece as miserably as that.
No, I think the message is pretty clear, isn't it? Why change something that's working? And they've worked. Deep crosses. In the first half, caused Germany all sorts of problems. And then when they get one in the second half, when they're under pressure, they decide to go short.
There was no angle whatsoever, was there, for Eriksen to get the ball into the penalty area?
Not.
Stekelenburg has just made an outstanding save from 4 yards out from Nani to keep it 1-1 in Kharkiv. It was as good a save from Stekelenburg for Holland as we saw from Andersen in the first half from Muller. They were split apart, the Dutch defence, and how Nani didn't score I'll never know. So it's still 1-1 in Kharkiv and still 1-1 here. Jan's just seen the replay. What a miss by Nani and what a save by Stekelenburg.
Is that miss of the tournament or save of the tournament?
I've no idea. Miroslav Klose is going to be coming on for Germany. And with every save and every miss, all the teams still stay in Group B and in the competition. Ozil to Lahm on the left-hand side, just outside Denmark's penalty area. 18 minutes to go. A very experienced Klose about to enter the fray. You would think that Mario Gomez is going to be the player to go off. Germany attacking with Ozil, left edge of the penalty area, gets away from Zimling. Still Ozil, and he rolls it back to Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger out to this right side, and Bender just outside the box. Bender then plays it square to Khedira. They're toying with Denmark, but there's not that real desire for Germany to go and kill the game off. Khedira swings it into the box and headed away by Crondelli, controlled then by Jakob Poulsen and hooked away, although Germany will win it straight back again. Denmark cannot keep possession and they can't score without the ball. Khedira rolled back now to Schweinsteiger. They're looking tired, Denmark. They've had so much defending to do, and now they'll get the opportunity to come forward. Bad news from Kharkiv. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored again. Portugal 2, Holland 1. And that means now that Denmark have got to score twice, Jan.
Which at the moment, well, we need that anyway. It was always going to be a tall order. Never mind to try and beat the Germans. But if you have to do it, you know, scoring another 2, winning by 2 clear goals, it's going to be extremely tough.
So Mario Gomez comes off and Miroslav Klose comes on. And it was the Manchester United connection. Nani to Ronaldo. that Ronaldo cut inside his marker and fired a low shot from 7 yards behind Stecklenburg. We've not seen him in the tournament so far, Ronaldo. When they needed the big performance tonight, Portugal, they've got it. So at the moment, Germany 7, Portugal 6, Denmark 4, and Holland would end the tournament with 0 points, having lost the World Cup final 2 years ago in South Africa. Pretty simple now for the Danes. They've got to score twice. They've got to win the football match. So surely that's going to lead to changes now from Morten Olsen. In fact, Mikkelsen is being spoken to by one of the coaching staff. He's going to be coming on pretty soon, yeah. Yeah,
the problem Denmark have got in terms of options from the bench, who's played, who's delivered at this level, there isn't too many. And I think he's very reluctant to disturb the players who are out there, because they're doing okay. What they haven't got is enough ability to go and create and score goals.
Agatha Poulsen on the left-hand side, the left back forward, right in front of Morten Olsen, but that's a terrible pass. It was wretched. And it's gone out of play for a throw on the right-hand side, midway inside the German half. 15 minutes to go in Kharkiv, Portugal 2, Holland 1. 15 minutes to go here, Germany 1, Denmark 1. So Denmark now know that they've got to win the match. And they could also do with a Dutch goal as well.
Now, see, that would help.
Yeah, they need a Dutch goal more than anything, don't they? Forward towards Bentner. Bentner plays it towards the goal, and Neuer was just able to reach it. I think Bentner thought he was fouled by Badstuber as well.
Badstuber definitely had hold of him.
So Germany have got the ball now, midway inside his own half of the field. And now Khedira. Well, it's had a deflating effect, the goal that's been scored by Ronaldo on the Denmark supporters here. Germany still dominating proceedings. It's still Denmark 1, Germany 1, with those 2 goals scored in the first half. Denmark have offered very little in the second. Just that Jakob Poulsen shot that shaved the outside of the post. Germany have spent the majority of the second half around the Danish penalty area. Changes imminent from Morten Olsen, but these are desperate times now for Denmark. Denmark 1, Germany 1. So here's Muller on the right-hand side. Commentary continues on 5 Live of Holland against Portugal. As Germany come forward down the left-hand side with Philipp Lahm. Lahm just outside the penalty area. Moves the ball onto his right foot, then scampers a little further infield. Back to Schweinsteiger and then Muller. So much fluidity and movement now about this Germany team. Muller whips in the cross and Daniel Agger can volley the ball away from inside the 6-yard box into safety, but only as far as Schweinsteiger. And now Muller. They've knocked the stuffing out of Denmark, haven't they, with this possession football in the second half. They've run them into the ground, Jan. Yeah, they have, yeah. The last 15 minutes has been so one-sided. I mean, Denmark normally pride themselves on their work with the ball. Tonight, it hasn't been good enough. There can be little doubt about that. Saw France keep the ball like this in the second half against Ukraine, didn't we, after the thunderstorm in Donetsk, and we're seeing something similar from Germany. But Denmark is a better team than the Ukraine. Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. So this is very impressive from the Germans. And Denmark, they give it all. They have no more to give. No. I think whatever happens, they're going to leave the tournament with their heads held high, aren't they? Oh, absolutely. At the moment, it looks like Denmark are going to beat Holland and draw with Germany and still go home. That's cruel. It is. Just shows how important that goal was 3 minutes from the end, scored by Varela here when Portugal won the game 3-2. Ozil to Klose and then Khedira. Khedira to Ozil, a couple of yards outside the Danish area. Flicked into Sami Khedira, vital challenge by Kvist on the edge of the 6-yard box. A Germany goal at this stage, and it's all over. I think he's actually given a goal kick, which it should have been a corner. Khedira protests. The Spanish referee won't change his mind. And a strange change is going to be made by Denmark. They're going to send on Christian Poulsen, which... a defensive midfielder at this stage doesn't seem to be the order of the day, although Zimling maybe can't carry on anymore. He's the player who's going to go off. Yeah, but you don't want to be replacing Zimling with a like-for-like at this stage of the match. Unless, of course, Morten Olsen is trying to preserve his own unbeaten record against the Germans. Yeah, we must remember, of course, that it's still 1-1 in the match. The problem, as far as the Danes are concerned, is that it's 2-1 in Kharkiv to Portugal. Ronaldo has both of the goals, and Holland aren't necessarily the team who can go behind in a tournament at this stage and gather themselves and go again. You would think they're falling apart at the seams in Kharkiv now. Especially not with the tournament they've had. No, I wouldn't like to be on the team plane or in the team hotel later on, where they'll probably all blame each other, won't they? I think they'll all hire their own private plane and go home individually. What is it, a 23-man squad and 23 planes home? That wouldn't bother them. No. Typical of the Dutch.
Always unrest, too many egos.
Well, the Dutch have been the big disappointment, haven't they, of Euro 2012. I've got to say that Russia have disappointed me as well. How can you win your first match 4-1 and then go
not?
Out?
Yeah.
And the team that you beat 4-1 win the group.
They forgot to be affected, didn't they?
They did. Here's Jakobsen, and then to Crondelli. Crondelli has certainly made his mark on the tournament with the 2 goals, the winner against Holland and the header to equalise in the first half here. 1-1, and we've got 11 minutes of the 90 to go. And the ball is on the left-hand side with Simon Poulsen. Poulsen away from Thomas Muller, cleared away though by Lars Bender as far as Klose, and then Khedira. They're such a big, physically imposing team, Germany, but there's so much movement and athleticism about them as well. Ozil, infield to Klose, it'll fall for Bender! Lars Bender scores the goal to send Germany through as group winners and end Denmark's hopes of a qualification place at Euro 2012. The goal's been coming. Denmark 1, Germany 2.
More so than any other team at this tournament, Germany had that ability from one end to the other in the flash of the eye, and it only took about 5 or 6 seconds. The pass was actually meant for Klose. He couldn't quite get there, and there comes the right back Bender, who's ran 80 yards to join in that attack. The only thing I will say is that once the misplaced pass didn't reach Klose, Jakob Poulsen, who was tracking Bender, gave up.
Cool finish by Bender. It's a goal for Germany, and surely Denmark's hopes of qualification evaporate with the goal. Scored by Lars Bender, playing as an emergency right back, the Bayer Leverkusen player. Germany turned defence into attack in 4 passes. The ball was played into the penalty area, and in front of the Danish supporters, Bender side foots a second goal for the Germans, who are going to win the group with 3 successive wins. Denmark 1, Germany 2, 9 minutes to play. And the ball for Denmark is with Daniel Agger. There's a huge orange smoke bomb that's been let off by the Germany fans behind the goal away to our left-hand side, which, with all of these UEFA sanctions that we're seeing during the tournament to England and Sweden and Russia and most of the nations, you would think that's not going to go unnoticed by the top brass at UEFA either.
And he definitely won't, will it? There'll be a fine on its way to the German FA.
Here's Crondelli, just outside the box. Crondelli challenged by 2 German defenders. They got the ball, according to the Spanish referee, who was that close, he was almost involved in the tackle. So Group B looks like this. Germany 9, Portugal 6, Denmark 3, Holland 0. So Germany, Greece and Portugal, Czech Republic, the quarter-finals, the lineup for the quarter-finals having been decided with Group A and Group B now being sorted, unless there is real drama at the end of the game in Kharkiv and the game here in Lviv. Here's the change. Jakob Poulsen's gone off, and Mikkelsen, I think, has come on too late. Yeah,
I think so. Absolutely. I mean, he's now going into more of a centre midfield role, which is not where he plays either. So yeah, maybe he got that wrong, Morten Olsen. Should have gone on Mikkelsen instead of Poulsen when he made his first substitution. Having said that, I think Germany deserve it. They've been the better team.
Absolutely. You can't really argue with the result at the moment, 2-1. Just seen a shot by Rafael van der Vaart in Kharkiv that beat the goalkeeper and hit the post. It was a fantastic curling effort from just outside the penalty area. The right foot of the Tottenham man beat Rui Patricio, all ends up the Portugal goalkeeper, and it came back off the post and away to safety. It's just not going to be Denmark's 9. Ball played forward towards Bentner inside the penalty area, headed away by Hummels and then cleared by Lars Bender. You know, he's given Joachim Löw something to think about, because I think Boateng's been a bit of a weak link in this German team.
He knew that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He knew he had plenty of options.
I wonder
what he's actually done, I think, for this tournament. When you look at the Dutch, and he didn't know what to do, Van Marwijk, did he?
No.
You know, he didn't know whether to play Huntelaar or Van Persie, both of them together. He played Van Bommel or whatever. Now, Löw wants to play Klose and Mertesacker, but I think he's realised at the moment that there's better options available, hence the changes he's made, and it's working well for him. Van
Marwijk chose family over football, didn't he, with his son-in-law Mark van Bommel over Rafa van der Vaart. Tony Kroos is going to come on for Germany, but we've got a Denmark corner, which is headed on by Agger and headed wide. Really good chance that for the Danish captain.
Again, surprised how free he gets. He was marked by Bad Stuber, who just lets him run off.
So Denmark 1, Germany 2. I think he'll stick with Bender, for the quarter-finals. He's given them a lot more at right back than Jerome Boateng.
But I just think he'll go back to what has been tried and trusted.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Looks to me as though he's a centre-back playing at right-back, Boateng, whereas Bender has been quite effective at both ends. You're probably right, though, that they don't like to change things, do they, coaches?
No, and
tournaments
also,
unless they've got to.
You know, also think, I mean, you mentioned the fact that this is the first time Bender's ever played right back.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into quarter-final, then the next is the semi-final against the best teams in Europe? I'm not so sure.
So 2-1 to Germany here in Lviv and 2-1 to Portugal in Kharkiv. The 2 goals up there scored by Ronaldo. The goals here for Germany from Podolski in the first half and Bender in the second. The Danish goal, the second of the competition for Michael Crondelli in the first period. Now that orange smoke is still drifting around Arena Lviv away to our left-hand side. Morten Olsen down below us with his hands in his trouser pockets. Joachim Löw has sat down, probably can't stand up with that tight shirt on for too long. Here's closer, 10 yards inside the Danish half. We were only saying last night, weren't we, over dinner, how tight the shirts used to be when you used to wear them at Liverpool. You told me that everybody had a medium and you've got no... And when you see them now in a frame, they're tiny, the players' shirts from the 80s and the early 90s, and I think that's
he must
where,
have played then, wasn't he, Joachim Löw?
That's where Löw's got his shirt from.
Unless, of course, he's put on a lot of weight since the last tournament.
Yeah, I don't know. It's far from me to say. All the noise you can hear inside the Arena Lviv coming from the Germany fans. They're heading through as the winners, emphatic winners, I would add as well, from Group B. 9 points out of 9. A 1-0 win against Portugal, a 2-1 win against Holland, and they lead Denmark 2-1 with 4.5 minutes to play. Denmark are going home with a win against the Dutch, a heartbreaking late defeat against Portugal, and a defeat here against Germany that, to be quite frank, they could do very little about. Portugal are going through with the Germans. Portugal will face Czech Republic, the winners of Group A, and Germany will face a Greek side who stunned us all by knocking Russia out last night, the Russian team that won 4-1 in the opening match. They just did another Dutch chance. I think it was another Van der Vaart shot on the volley that fizzed right across the face of goal and wide and behind for a goal kick to Portugal. So it's not really been Holland's night, certainly not been Denmark's night, but it's Germany's night emphatically, and it might, if they carry on playing like this, be Germany's tournament as well.
Yeah, I think the Dutch will be really disappointed, whereas the Danes won't be. You know, they knew they were in a tough group. They've had a win which I think was unexpected. Nobody expected Denmark to beat Holland. I think they've enjoyed the tournament. 1 or 2 players have come out of looking extremely well. The centre halves, both of them have been excellent. Crondelli with his goals. The keeper, shouldn't forget, he's not first choice. It is still Thomas Sorensen from Stoke. So I think 1 or 2 of them have covered themselves in glory. But as a whole, not enough good players. That's why you don't win games at this level.
There is a big gulf in class between the two teams, there's no doubt about that. Not just the starting 11, but the squad in general. 3 minutes to go plus stoppage time. They're a grim bunch at the moment, the Danish fans on the far side, but they've really enjoyed the trip. We've mixed with quite a few of them the last few days in Lviv, and they've been great company, and they've been a credit to their country. And I might add some of the German fans as well, who've provided real colour and noise and atmosphere to the town centre here in Lviv, which is not the biggest place by any stretch of the imagination, but they've been respectful to everybody, and they've really enjoyed everything about Euro 2012. Denmark play it forward through Agger, and he can't find Bentner. That's through to the goalkeeper Neuer.
I also believe you have your new favourite German side, Erfurt, the guy you met last night.
Yeah, we were talking to a couple of German lads last night. They were telling us all about English football as well as German football. They were big aficionados. They travel to watch Liverpool 4 times a year, and they drive, don't they, from the old East Germany through to Calais to England, and then drive up to Liverpool, and invariably they've not got a ticket.
No,
sometimes they just go home after having a drink with the supporters.
That's it,
they?
And then they go on the beach in Llandudno.
Yeah, they did tell us last time they'd asked somebody where the best beach was in Wales, and they said Llandudno, so they drove there, went home, and never actually saw a match, did they? So Jan quite nicely has said when they come next time he'll try and help them secure a ticket and certainly enjoy a trip to Liverpool. In the meantime here, Denmark 1, Germany 2. 2 minutes to play in Kharkiv. Portugal leading Holland by the same score. So Group B sorted. Germany group winners, Portugal runners up. But that shouldn't take anything away from what Denmark have achieved in this tournament. They'll be disappointed though still, Jan, won't they? After winning the first match against Holland, they've not gone through.
That's the disappointment, isn't it? When you win your first game. But you look, Holland lose their first game, Czech Republic lose their first game. They found the spirit to bounce back and get the wins that they needed. It wasn't quite to be for Denmark, but I always feared this game. The Germans are just too strong for Denmark at the moment.
I think if you'd have gone into this match knowing that a draw would be enough,
that would have been different.
That would have been different.
Keep coming back to that late goal against Portugal.
Yeah.
You know, but I think on the evidence of what we've seen, I think Portugal and Germany can probably both win their quarter-finals. So 2 teams from this group through to the semi-final, which give you an indication of how strong the group is.
That's why they call it the group of death, because of the quality. 3 of the top 5 teams in the world are in Group B, and Denmark are in the top 10, so that's how difficult it is. It's going to be such a shame when they expand it to 24 teams in 4 years' time, because you're going to lose that situation where every game is a big game.
But it does give the opportunity for teams like Wales and Northern Ireland and Scotland, you know, gives them an opportunity to maybe to get here from time to time.
Here's Schweinsteiger. Germany looking to finish with a flourish. Now the ball is with the Ozil midway inside the Danish half. By my watch, we've got 30 seconds of additional time to play. Mark Clattenburg, the 4th official, has got the electronic board in his hand down below us. They're moving towards injury time in Kharkiv as well. In fact, they're into injury time. There's 4 minutes of additional time in Kharkiv, where Portugal lead Holland 2-1. And we're about to find out how long there is left here as well. 3 minutes of additional time in Lviv, and the ball is with Mesut Ozil for Germany. Played through, and Ozil was caught by Christian Poulsen, and it'll be a Germany free kick just outside the box, about 20 yards, 25 yards from Stefan Andersson's goal.
Yeah, I think it's one of those free kicks, isn't it? If the game is drawn and somebody might have a shot, there is 1 or 2 of them lining up to maybe have a pop from that distance. Schweinsteiger's there, Schürrle.
Ronaldo's just hit the post, by the way, in Kharkiv. He would have been the 9th player in European Championship finals history to score a hat-trick had he got that, but he's denied by the woodwork. It remains 2-1, and Germany have got this free kick 25-30 yards from Andersson's goal. Schweinsteiger is standing over it. He looks like he really fancies it from here. He's certainly spending enough time trying to place the ball. Denmark have got a 4-man wall on the edge of the penalty area, which contains Schürrle as well. But it's going to be Schweinsteiger with his right foot. It's straight into the Danish wall, and it's retrieved by Lahm, who then plays it to Toni Kroos, and then to Lars Bender. And the man who got the all-important second goal for Germany can play it infield to Ozil, who's been excellent tonight. Forward by Kroos to Khedira on the right side, and then to Closer, and he's offside. Flag went up quickly on the near side, and that's a free kick inside the penalty area to the Danes.
Now, that'll probably be the only disappointment from Germany's point of view. Closer has not been involved. You know, I think they were quite hoping to get him involved, because he could be, as the tournament progresses, a bit of a dark horse. Tournament football is what he's about, isn't he? He normally comes alive at these tournaments. Got a fantastic scoring record.
I know that Spain have got another game to play tomorrow against Croatia, which is not easy on paper, but I think the thing that stands out for me from the group stage is that Germany and Spain haven't had to work too hard to get through, have they? They should have plenty in the tank. They've dominated play. They've played the game at their own pace. They've never really had to chase anything. And as the longer the tournament goes on, I think they're going to be quite fresh. They've also got the players to change things as well. That's a good ball by Khedira. Schürrle's offside. Flag went up really quickly, but it was a slide rule pass by Khedira that almost got the Bayer Leverkusen player. And he's had a fair point, you know, that depth of squad and the ability to dictate the pace of a match, to keep something within yourself.
Absolutely. No, keep possession, isn't it? You know, you don't run a risk of conceding or losing games when you have the ball.
Ball played into Agger, and Agger's offside.
They came into the tournament, the 2 best teams. They haven't disappointed, Germany and Spain. They've both been excellent.
About 30 seconds of Denmark's Euro 2012 campaign remains. Germany 30 seconds away from official confirmation they're winners of Group B and through to the quarter-finals, and a showdown against the 2004 winners Greece. It will be Czech Republic for Portugal, who lost their first match and will still go through. Just like the Czechs, 2 teams who lost their first match will contest the quarter-final. By my watch, we've played the 3 minutes of additional time, and the Spanish referee blows the whistle. Germany have beaten Denmark with goals from Lukas Podolski and Lars Bender. Germany win the group. Denmark go home. It's finished Denmark 1, Germany 2.